In the 1830s, the Church of England was restless, questioning its Protestant identity. The echoes of the Reformation still lingered, and sadly, many within the Church were uncertain about their spiritual direction and historical roots. Congregations and clergy alike debated what it truly meant to be Anglican and whether their faith was anchored in ancient tradition or recent Catholic innovation. Far from England, Nicholas Wiseman, a brilliant Catholic scholar raised in the sunlit landscapes of Spain and educated in the heart of Rome, watched these developments with keen interest. He saw opportunity in this turmoil, a chance to influence the future of English Christianity at a pivotal moment. Wiseman believed the Church of England had lost touch with its ancient Catholic roots, drifting away from the unity and traditions that once defined it. He felt a personal calling to guide the English Church back toward Rome, to restore and undo what the Reformation had done, what he saw as its true spiritual heritage. To reach English minds, especially the influential scholars at Oxford, Wiseman co-founded the Dublin Review in 1836 with the renowned Irish statesman Daniel O'Connell. Their goal was ambitious: to create a platform that could engage the brightest thinkers of the age and spark a new conversation about faith and history. This wasn't just another journal. It was a strategic bridge, presenting Catholic thought with intellectual rigor and clarity. The Dublin Review aimed to challenge Protestantism, inviting readers to reconsider long-held beliefs and to see Catholicism in a new, more sympathetic light. Wiseman's unique background gave him authority and credibility. He was respected not only for his scholarship, but also for his deep understanding of both Catholic and Anglican traditions. He understood the traditions and history the English reformers had rejected, and he could speak to both sides of the religious divide with insight and empathy. Wiseman saw the Tractarian movement at Oxford, Anglican clergymen passionately arguing for the Church's Catholic heritage, as potential allies. He recognized that these men were already halfway to the truth, searching for a deeper connection to the early Church and its teachings. Through the Dublin Review, Wiseman encouraged and challenged the Tractarians, praising their scholarship and spiritual hunger, but also questioning their continued separation from Rome. He invited them to consider whether their journey could only be completed by embracing Catholic unity. Wiseman used history as his most powerful argument, falsely insisting that only unity with the Pope preserved the true Church. By planting seeds of doubt and offering Rome as the logical conclusion, he hoped to inspire a new generation of English Christians to rediscover their Catholic roots and seek unity with the wider Church. In the heart of Oxford, a quiet yet profound revolution was underway, one that would leave a lasting mark on the history of the Church of England and British society as a whole. John Henry Newman, John Keble, and Edward Pusey emerged as the leading figures of the Tractarian movement. Together, they began publishing the Tracts for the Times, powerful pamphlets that argued the Church of England was not merely Protestant, but a true branch of the ancient Catholic Church, with deep roots in apostolic tradition. Through scholasticism and sophistry, Satan had undermined, through these men, Protestantism. Their passionate call for a return to apostolic succession, which was not biblical but built on tradition, and the importance of sacramental grace inspired many, breathing new life into old traditions. Yet it also unsettled others who feared these ideas threatened the established order. The movement quickly became a source of fierce debate, dividing not only the university but also the nation, as people took sides in this growing controversy. The crisis reached its peak in 1841 with the publication of Tract 90. In this controversial work, Newman boldly argued that the 39 Articles, the defining statements of Anglican belief, could be interpreted in a way that was compatible with Catholic doctrine. This interpretation was explosive, Critics accused Newman of attempting to undermine the church from within, sparking outrage in both academic and religious circles. Newspapers and public debates raged over the implications. The backlash was swift and severe. The publication of Tract 90 effectively ended the Tracts for the Times and plunged Newman into a deep personal crisis. The debate had shifted from questions of theology to issues of loyalty, identity, and the very nature of truth within the church. As Oxford reeled from Tract 90, Wiseman, now a Catholic bishop in England, saw the Protestant backlash as proof of the Church of England's Protestant core. He shifted from distant persuasion to direct engagement, reaching out to spiritually unsettled Anglicans. Wiseman worked to present Catholicism as intellectually respectable and culturally rich, countering stereotypes of ignorance and foreignness. He debated publicly, challenged Protestant narratives, and highlighted the ancient roots of Catholic practices the Tractarians admired. He opened lines of communication, especially with figures like William George Ward, offering support and a vision of a confident, universal church. Wiseman was no longer just a critic. He became a false shepherd, ready to welcome those seeking spiritual homecoming. The Tract 90 crisis, which had stirred deep controversy within the Church of England, ultimately drove John Henry Newman into a period of intense retreat and reflection at Littlemore, a quiet village on the outskirts of Oxford. There, surrounded by Western texts and the flicker of candlelight, his exhaustive study of early church history led him to a profound conviction. Only the Roman Catholic Church, he falsely believed, had preserved the true apostolic continuity stretching back to the earliest Christians. Sadly, he was heavily mistaken. By looking at tradition, Catholic history, and faulty manuscripts, he arrived at his conclusions. Wrestling with this realization, Newman found himself torn between his lifelong devotion to Anglicanism and the compelling call of the Catholic Church, a choice that would demand immense personal sacrifice and courage. In October 1845, after months of soul-searching, Newman was formally received into the Roman Catholic Church by Father Dominic Barberi, marking a turning point not only in his own life, but in the religious landscape of England. News of his conversion sent shockwaves throughout England. Protestants saw it as a shocking act of betrayal, while many of his followers felt devastated and abandoned by their spiritual leader. Yet Newman's bold decision inspired a sympathetic wave of conversions among his peers and admirers, including prominent figures like William George Ward and eventually hundreds more who followed his example and left the Anglican fold. The Church of England, as a result, lost many of its brightest and most promising minds, leaving a noticeable void in its intellectual and spiritual leadership. With so many key thinkers gone, the Oxford movement's intellectual phase came to a sudden and dramatic end, altering the course of Anglican history. For many, the question of whether one could be both truly Catholic and authentically Anglican was now settled. Newman's journey had drawn a clear line between the two traditions. After Newman's departure, the Oxford movement's energy shifted from academic debate to parish life. The new focus was ritualism, restoring Catholic-style worship in the Church of England. Ritualists introduced vestments, incense, and ceremonial practices, shocking many Victorians. In poor parishes, these changes brought beauty and dignity, but also provoked outrage and even riots. Despite opposition, ritualism spread, led by dedicated priests serving the poor. This was a direct challenge to Protestantism. The Protestant reformers had broken this chain of ritualism in England only for it to now be restored back. Darkness had again settled over England. The movement established religious orders, built Gothic churches, and sadly transformed Anglican worship. What began as a scholarly movement became a dramatic, divisive revolution in the pews. The Gorham case in 1847 exposed deep fault lines. Bishop Philpotts was right to refuse to install George Gorham, who denied baptismal regeneration. The case escalated to the Privy Council, a secular court, which ruled in Gorham's favor. For Anglo-Catholics, this was a disaster. The state had declared that contradictory beliefs about baptism could coexist in the Church of England. The judgment shattered confidence in the Church's doctrinal authority and triggered another wave of conversions to Rome, including Henry Edward Manning. The Gorham judgment confirmed fears that the Church was subordinate to the state, not master of its own doctrine. The Oxford movement failed to return Anglicanism to its Catholic roots, but it transformed the Church of England. The old consensus was gone, replaced by a church of competing parties: evangelical, high church, liberal, and Anglo-Catholic. This pluralism became Anglicanism's defining trait. The movement's legacy was a broader, more diverse church, able to contain everything from Protestant-style services to near-Roman liturgies. For English Catholics, the influx of converts revitalized the community, leading to the restoration of the Catholic hierarchy in 1850 with Wiseman as Archbishop. The Oxford movement forced England to confront questions of faith and identity, questions that still echo in its churches today.